Quite a nice bright morning. So let's bring a bit of that brightness into the body. Spread out the toes, stand into your own self. Pull out the shoulders. And let this moment of just settling in and arriving, let this be your invitation to really come here and sort of shrug off the week you've had, the days, the months, even to shrug off the last couple of years, everything we have been through and everything we've encountered. Now, if we're going to twist and use rotation as well as a form of massage to the organs, that talks to digestion and to the digestive systems and to circulatory. And you do want to think about what you're digesting during the week. You know, I, for one, have started to minimize the amount of news media, especially on the radio, because sometimes it can be really a little bit too much to bear. So ease the shoulders away from the ears, press the heels of the hands together, finding Anjali Mudra, which is, of course, a seal. So a mudra is a seal, and you can become fairly intentional here. So as you engage those heels of the hands, really start to press just a little bit more firmly. Create some space across the collarbones and lengthen widthways across your body and lengthways upwards. And then notice the weight of your head on the neck and shoulders and try to avoid forward head placement. Of course, we're on an online class. Thank you again for joining me, but do not keep staring at that screen. So sort of retract the head back, a little bit of turkey neck there, retract the head back, and maybe even close the eyes or lower the gaze, a little bit looking into the palms or the fingernails. Drishti into the mudra. Quietly connecting to your breath. Softening the forehead, corners of the eyes. And listening to the sounds inside and outside your practice room. Hearing the sound of your breathing. Please evoke Ujjayi Pranayama if that feels appropriate to you. So hearing the sibilant sound of the breath, like a little whisper at the back of the throat. And then observe how you feel today. And as you observe how you feel, accepting the good and the bad, the likes and the dislikes, the aches, the pains. Hopefully there's not many pains. Just, you know, your physical health history. How do you feel physically in your body right now? Spreading out through the toes, lifting the inner arches. Draw up a little bit more energy through the inner seam of the thighs, into the pelvic floor and up to the navel center. And then observe, how do you feel emotionally? Can you pause to accept that? And is there a link? Is there a good link between physical and emotional and also the breathing? So how do these facets of your nature represent to you today? How do they present? Body, breath, emotions, and then the mind. Let's release the palms, spread them open, and soften the knees or even bend the knees. Take the arms all the way overhead, big saluting. To the sky, to the sun. Exhale, bend the elbows, soften, and as you draw in, seal the mudra purposefully. Again, roll the shoulders away, draw the shoulder blades down into the back waist. And if you went into a natural back bend, then just make sure that you just draw back, not rounding that spine or tucking the pelvis, but just bringing your back to that bringing yourself back to a neutral pelvis. You can move much faster or much slower. So 3 more rounds of breath in mountain. Now I'm going to slide down a wall and just bend the knees enough. So I'm not really going into chair pose. I'm just going to bend off those knees just a few times. A little bit sort of oiling the knee joints, but as I say, you don't need to do this, or you can do it fast or slow. Then I'm going to inhale, open, expand. Think about taking the gaze to the point where the wall meets the ceiling, or all the way overhead, lifting the heart, opening up the ribs. Slight pause into that extended spine, and then lengthening through. And exhaling, heels of the hands together, down into that heart center, bowing the gaze. By bending the knees like this and sort of sliding down a wall, it's reminding my yoga body of cow pose in all fours. So that's just really why I've chosen that variation at this time. But you can be in your firmer legs as suits you. And then release the palms beside your body, and depending where you are on your mat, come towards the top of your practice mat. And we just take a couple of rounds of Bihar sun salutation to warm up. So palms open, thumbs spreading away, hip wide feet, inhaling, lifting up the side bodies. Up towards the sky, open and expand, and then back palms turn and dive over those legs, fold with softening knees, or full Uttanasana according to how you feel. Shake out the head and neck. Let's take the right foot back, right knee down, left ankle below the left knee, and roll the shoulders back. Circle the arms overhead, and Anjaneyasana. First round here doesn't have to be super dramatic. So try and connect into you rather than perfection. Maybe a little pedaling out through down face dog. Take time to inhale, exhale as you hold steady in plank. Lowering or knees down and releasing calmly. Find the breath, Sphinx or Bhujangasana, the cobra. Again, just keep rolling those shoulders away from the ears. And forehead touching, prone position. Press back to child's pose. And really lengthen the heels of the hands away, melt the forehead. Rise to second down face dog. Stillness in the dog, or a little wiggle again. Right leg to sky. Breathe and press the earth confidently through strong arms. And right foot forward, left knee down. And Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Circle the arms, really lovely space coming through the body already. Fingertips frame the front foot as you, of course, step forward. And since it's this first kind of half round, let yourself drape again. Maybe hold the elbows. Drop over those legs, kind of like ragdoll at this point. And then sweep the arms up. Gather a little bit more energetic strength. Lift up and out. Seal the palms, land into the heart, gazing. Release the palms. Second side is left leg back, left leg forward. Inhale, open. Top of the in-breath, pause, exhale, fold, purposely, intentionally. Left leg back, left knee down. Circle and Vinyasana. Surrender your hip. Press exhale, down face dog. Moment of stillness, or you are pedaling or walking the dog, according to you. Fly, float, or glide into plank. And let's pause and really hug those legs to the midline. Press the earth away, broaden the back. And then lowering, or as I say, the knees come down first. Those of you that don't really want to use the classical plank rod, Kumbhakasana, Chaturanga Dandasana. Really keep sighing your breath away as necessary to release the week you've just experienced. And then at this point, child pose again, or come straight into your second down face dog. Find the breath. And as I say, if you've used child's pose, come into dog and then left leg to sky. Left foot forward. Crescent lunge, opening. Exhale, fingertips step forward, fold. This time, of course, you might prefer to fold, holding onto the legs, hands wrapping around the ankles perhaps. And powerful ascending up to the sky. Delicate softness as the palms come to heart. And then open out. Inhale, exhale, and already perhaps feel a little bit tingly through the hands. Maybe there's more space through the breath. So this just one more round, going to go a little bit faster. So always know that at the end of that sun salute, in fact of any sun salute, when you bring those thumbs into your heart center, it's just another way of connecting to self and also pausing to acknowledge the changing circumstances of your breathing. Open out the palms, fingers and thumbs, and this allows you to draw those shoulders away from the ears in the spreading open mountain, feet well connected. Breathing in, lift to sky. Exhale, fold. Right leg back. Inhale, arms. And exhale, dog. We're going to take one breath cycle in plank pose, Kumbhakasana. And lowering. Breathing in, expand cobra pose. Some of you might want to even try up face dog this morning. Lowering. And we go second face down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right leg peels up and out. Really nice at this point to just vary it and maybe use hip opening dog. So letting that right heel sort of flop back behind you as you slowly and carefully, mindfully rotate your pelvis. That is a choice. Right foot forward, left knee down, and arms overhead. You can circle the arms or just bring them straight up, lifting that heart. Fingers touch. Exhale, fold softly or deeply, and rise to the sky. We're going to go straight into the second side. Exhale, fold. Left leg back, left knee down. Crescent lunge. Smile and enjoy your practice. Press the palms well spread into the earth. Spreading out through the arms and legs, lifting up through the core musculature. So the postural muscles well supporting your spine in plank. hugging the elbows in and back, especially important if you're using knees down rod version. Sphinx or Cobra, breathe in, refine the breath. And exhaling, lowering, child's pose or second down face dog. Left leg up to sky, point the foot, toes, lengthen out into hip extension, or pivot that pelvis. And the leg is long, and then as you bend your left knee, rooting a little bit more powerfully and purposefully through the arms. Try to even out the pressing of the arms. But obviously as you linger here, you're going to feel that lovely length coming from the left wrist through the left hip, and let that lower left leg just dangle back. So the weight of that leg pulls outwards. And it's a powerfully strong posture. So you do need, of course, to be mindful of where you are in that hip and pelvis. Left foot forward, crescent lunge, opening. And fingertip touch, lift the back knee, exhale, fold. Hip wide feet, look at your feet and toes, spread them, grounded and steadfast. And rising, inhale, open out. Now as you exhale, the center of your mat and keep your arms overhead and look up and imagine, feel, sense that you're holding a box between your arms. Lifting through the side bodies. And this is not back bending, it's extension, it's spinal extension. So we don't really want to start pushing the pelvis forward or back or changing the aspect there of the body. Breathe in, lift the fingertips to the sky. As you exhale, take the right arm forward, left arm back, and spiral and turn the palms down and look to your left palm. Breathe in, coming back. Bring arms to the center, look up if you wish. And that's pretty long breath in, as you've noticed, so you can exhale and stay here. Or again, inhale, lift up strong, left arm forward, spiral, right arm back, warrior two style arms, and look behind you. Up, inhale, exhale, spiral, spreading, looking, up, lift, inhale, exhale, spiral. Again. You can even touch the palms overhead. Split and spiral, twist and turn. Last one, up, touch, turn and twist. And then arms come down. And bring the hands onto your hips. And just move the elbows in and out a few times. A little bit like a lovely yoga bird flapping her wings. And I'm not clasping the pelvis now at all. I've taken the hands just a little bit to the sides. And then you can choose to return to Anjali Mudra, or my preference would be to just bring the fingertips onto the tops of the shoulders. Inhale, tall and spacious, and exhale, side bending. And as the right elbow comes down to the right, try not to drop that head. So notice your own weight of the head and how the body and the strength of the body is carrying you into that side bend. And then maybe peel the left arm over top, and the left hand can sort of sit on top of the head if you wish, or extend away and float and lengthen. Really feel the skin stretching. Watch that here you haven't transitioned into a rotation, but actually if you just spiral around on that side bend, it's kind of lovely. And then come back into that center. You can also let the right arm come down. Now turn the gaze to look down to the right heel, and this becomes powerfully sensational through the body as you lift back. Your left side may feel lovely and tingly and spacious, and you might feel something different, a lighter left hand. It's kind of a progressive Pajva Tadasana. Fingertips to the tops of the shoulders, release the elbows or take them out wide. Find your breath, slide to left. Maybe you bring that right elbow up in stage one and you just check in with the grounding, steadfast stability through your feet. Soften the gaze or close the eyes. Peel your right hand up and over. Maybe you rest here for a moment. You maybe let your left arm dangle. Depending on your shoulders, how do you feel to lengthen your arm away? Spread the fingers. Yes, you can look up underneath that hand. I personally find that really starts to strain the neck. So I'm going to bring the face back to the front, if you know what I mean. So bringing the face forward. I'm just taking a little pelvic sort of soft little spiral and then setting the pelvis back in the midline. Turn the gaze down to the left heel, left fingertips, left ankle. Reach over a little more or less. Feel you're stretching your skin. And if you feel the head is heavy, which I sometimes do, you can always take the hand back and kind of lift the weight of the head back to center. But primarily, please use the muscles through the core. And then stand, receive the posture. What has changed? Roll the shoulders delicately. And please walk to the top of the mat. We're going to start to go into a different flow now, involving more opportunities to appreciate space and length in your body and also rotation. The mudra today is Anjali, which some practitioners say comes from it is a Sanskrit word, but it also gives us a reference to Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, of course, which are absolutely fabulous. And I have a couple of translations, and it is worth maybe investing in your own copy and studying the Yoga Sutras. Shoulders roll down, draw into the breath now. Quiet contemplation of your thoughts, your feelings, your physical sense of yourself. Sweep the arms up overhead as you inhale. Now I'm just going to step back a little bit because I've realised I need a little bit more space, otherwise I'm going to kind of crash into the wall. Always worth in a home practice, isn't it, to check your surroundings. And then exhale forward with arms lengthening into an L-shaped length. Or place hands onto hips. Now if you need to bend your knees, that's entirely fine. And this would be a good opportunity to use your brick or block, so a brick under each hand or fingertip touch in front of you. And as you try to find not the hands just extending forward like down dog, but bringing those fingertips underneath the shoulders, whether your knees are both bent or the legs are firm or on fist. This is Ganeshasana, this is elephant pose. You want to try and imagine those two strong arms and legs and imagine a rather delicious elephant. You know, they're pretty amazing creatures actually. And of course in Hinduism, etc., and other of those faiths, there are lots of beautiful stories surrounding mythology. And Ganesh is said to bring wealth. So I'm going to keep my right hand down now, take the left hand onto the hip, bend the right knee and start to spiral outwards and open up the side body and lengthen the heart away. Bring the left palm up. If you feel that you've collapsed, then this is when you want to have that brick underneath your hand or fingertips or lift away more and lengthen away. And then take the left hand around the back waist and really create a wrapping. Now, as you look up, if you're straining your neck, again, you can think about taking the face forward. Please stay here to breathe and let the pose evolve, let the pose grow. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Arm can come up again. By the way, if you really want to, you can take that left arm over the ear. I'm having to reach again because I'm hitting the wall. So notice some variations in that top arm, and then release to earth. Come back to Ganeshasana, the elephant pose, lengthen away. Now bend the left knee, and as you bend the left knee, please notice that it's not drifting out to the left edge or inside the right edge. Try not to collapse your inner arch. Right hand to the hip, start to turn. As you rotate, lengthen spine away from sacrum, and then bring the right arm up. And as the right arm comes up, the other thing that you're really trying to avoid is, so it's that kind of expression of the pose, trying to avoid letting that right arm sort of hyperextend. So be aware of the broadness of shoulders on the back. And as I say, the yoga brick, I go this way, the yoga brick can be really, really helpful to find that lovely rotational space and help. So we've bent the left knee, and it's an opening out here. And then take the right arm, I think, around the back waist, spiral more or less. Lift the energy away. So if you're on your brick or block, we're not letting that yoga body collapse. Notice the feet. Can they be grounded without being glued? Maybe lift into the core. Breathe, arm comes up again. Maybe you like to extend, and your shoulder allows you to extend that right arm towards your ear. And you know, the bum can lean back behind the hips there. But let's make sure there's a good awareness to alignment. Breathe. And you can fold back to your elephant pose, Ganeshasana. And then begin to ragdoll, bend the knees, drop the crown. And as the palms press, take both knees down to mat now. And surrender to child's pose. And as the arms lengthen forward, or bend the elbows and soften, place the forehead on your pillow palms or on the yoga mat, and just melt the forehead and soften. And extend the arms again. And as you do so, sweep the arms around to the left. And the left arm will want to maybe come a little nearer to your hips and thighs, and the right arm will extend further round as you tuck the chin, lengthen that right side body. Inhale, exhale, and then slide up to Vajrasana, the kneeling pose, and keep turning left. So bring the right arm across your left thigh and turn, take the left fingers behind, turn left, look over. And as you notice the breathing, be aware if you've already captured the breath in a little hold phase. So notice that exhaling through the mouth might help you soften in your rotation. And you can rotate just a little bit more while you sustain the pose. Knees apart altogether. Slowly, mindfully, extended child pose, buttocks towards feet, lengthen out, resting. And then sweep both arms to the right. Right elbow comes towards your right hip on a bent arm perhaps, and the left arm extends further around. Inhale, exhale. And then rise up, keep turning right. And into kneeling, right arm behind you, left hand comes around the thigh, look over that right shoulder or tuck the chin a little, gaze to the mat. Use the arms, obviously, to anchor your pose. Option at this point is to sit between the feet into Virasana, and as the left hand comes around, take the right arm around the back waist. So it's like a half bound pose of the arms. Breathe, and please do your best. Julie, of course, take care of your knees and use moderation on your Vajrasana or Virasana if necessary. Now as we lengthen forward, this time puppy pose. So bring the hips above the knees, reach the arms forward. This is not Anahatasana, so you might be tempted to sink that chest down, but instead you're going to try and find a long diagonal line from the heel of the hand to the armpit to the hip. And in fact, this involves a lovely activation of your core muscles and the postural center. So the forehead hairline touches, your hips are stacked perfectly above the knees. And just like you at home, I'm trying to really find that awareness to that position. And then noticing the sensations that are developing around the shoulders and the neck. Every time you exhale, draw your abdominal centers in. Palms are pressing evenly. Breathing well. And then take the knees just a little bit further apart, perhaps. Come back to a sinking, surrendering child's pose with the chest releasing. And even take the arms around back by the feet and maybe take the side of the cheek down. Let the shoulders really flop like a little comfort blanket around the bones. Good sigh through the mouth, turn the head the other way if you're doing a side bending of the neck. Cat pose, thread twist. Please come to your all fours and spread the knees wider or less wide. So explore what works for you and create a little pelvic circle. Maybe you'll find time here for some regular undulation in cat-cow. Then I'm going to spread my right hand, sweep up and out through the left. Inhale and look up to the sky. Spiral out. Exhale, thread. Inhale, open, expand, lift. And exhale, thread that left arm through. The left cheek comes to the mat, reach the palm. One more. And then stay in your thread. And as your left arm reaches further through and adjusting your neck, spiraling the thorax, take the right fingers forward. And you can, if you want, raise into balance. So press the right foot away if you wish to. And then lengthen and take slow method of entry to the right leg, lifting towards the sky. The toes reach away. Pull the belly in again, just to support. And try to come out of that one slow and mindful. So if you're using the cat pose thread balance, you don't want to suck the navel into the spine to the point where you can't breathe. You're just using a kind of mild bracing technique in order to secure that balance. Mindfully releasing, and then re-enter puppy pose. So extend the arms forward, take account of whether your back is rounding and avoid, and lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then the right arm starts to thread through, the elbow comes down and the ear, and then press the palms together and push that right elbow thigh into the mat as you squeeze the hands into Anjali Mudra and finding this version of the pose. Breathe and feel. Soften the gaze. Hands come back. And press up into your all fours. Take the left hand, half a hand forward or spread. Sweep the right arm up. Inhale and exhale, thread. Perhaps 3 or 4 times. And, let the motion of the movement be satisfying, rich, and enjoyable. And then when you've threaded enough, that left hand, of course, can come up to sky. But let's press the fingers or the palms mat. secure your head and neck in a safe place. And start to peel the left leg away. Twist less or twist more. I'm just going to tuck my t-shirt in. And then you may want to balance, slowly, mindfully, elongating that left leg. Pause, breathe. Perhaps your leg comes higher. This is a beautiful hip extension. But it is also a funny yoga pose. I think it's relatively awkward. I wouldn't advise, like me, that you start talking while you're in this pose. And then come back safely. And when you're ready to release, you might want again just to slide back to child's pose and allow a little moment here. But then I'm going to invite you to come back to puppy one more time. And it's kind of like half of a down dog. So it's Ardha Adho Mukha Svanasana. So it's half. Extend. Take the left arm through and thread. The left elbow comes down, press down, the left cheek comes down. Lengthen the left elbow away. Twist, twist, twist. You kind of need both hands to create the twist. Then press the palms to your heart center and draw the shoulders back and turn. And it really may look relatively strange if you want to see this demo, but I would just really try and enter this pose in the best way you can. And notice how the that sense of being in the puppy, that lengthening, and then coming round and being in a position like this, how that feels for you as you again seal the pose with those lovely arm position there. And as we unravel, come to kneeling or high kneeling and roll those shoulders back. Press the palms, down face dog. Inhale, exhale. Step your right foot forward. Left knee down. And keep the left hand down or make a fist or place pulls onto the block. Turn into your right thigh and extend the right arm up, breathe in. And then as you exhale, take the right palm parallel to the mat. Breathe and feel it. And then turn your right toes out and spread the left hand. Come onto the outer edge of that left foot, so the knife edge of the left foot, and possibly even the outer knife edge of the right foot. And see if you can let your left hip come down. And surrender the body down to the earth in a variation of Skandasana. Now, arm will be somewhere. We're going to lift, hips, come up, and you can take that right arm back up to sky or over your ear, and you can even arc back. So really lift up the hips, press out through that left palm. It's a little bit, feels like an unusual side plank. And then as you exhale, can you slide back down into your low Skandasana variation with the hip resting. And maybe bring that right arm back. So we create a little cactus arm and spread the arm back. So you're on the outside edge of your left foot and the right foot is pressing down, or you're on the outside edge of the right. Then lift the hips again. Right arm reaches up and perhaps it reaches over and it feels like a side bend / side plank, and really accentuate this lifting out of that left leg. Breathe and feel. One more, slide down and take the right elbow back, open the chest, breathe, and then come inside that left leg, and it's now almost lizard pose, and release down. Now I took a little bit more time on those there because I wanted you to appreciate those two transitions, and I hope that was fine for you. Press the palms, lift the hips, slide back, curl the toes, extend, And down face dog, and let's pedal. And after a little bit of pedaling, bent knee dog, firming the legs. Can you stay in a still down face dog for me, please? Or even here, you can have a little bit of twist action. You can bring your feet very purposefully mat wide, if you wish, and then take the right hand to the left ankle. Inhale, exhale, look through the gap, and then press and thread the left hand to the right ankle and look through the gap, yeah? Inhale, exhale, take your left foot forward, framing the foot high lunge, right knee down. And as the right hand comes down, twist into that left thigh and take the left arm up to sky. And this is a closed twist. Try not to just dump that hip down, yeah? So press away from the earth and then reach the left arm back so we twist a little bit more. So here we're going into the transition. Maybe turn your left foot out and come onto the outside edge. And then as you come onto the outside edge of that right foot, your arm comes up again or overhead. So that is the kind of side plankish pose. And then release your right hip down. So see if you can slide down and twist, turn left. And as that right hip releases down, turn left and bring that cactus arm behind you, twist, twist, twist. Now push and lift. Arm overhead. Cactus, turn and twist. Yeah, if you're getting into the flow and you've got the two poses in your memory here, this comes a little easier. Lift and arch out, lift and bend, and lower hips, twist and turn. Press and lift, twist and turn, and then all comes back down and the left arm comes inside or the left elbow. And as you slide your right hip back, we're in Uttan Krishnasana, the lizard. Softly roll the hips and then slide the left leg down. Lay on your front body, forehead down. Inhale, exhale, slide the hands under the shoulders. And as you rise to cobra, then pull the hips up to all fours. Choose to stay here or a little quick down dog. Right leg to sky, peel it out. Right knee shin forward for pigeon. Soft pigeon. So the right heel under your left hip. Open up that chest, cobra style. Breathe in, breathe out. Stay here, of course, or choose to let the forearms come down. And then, if you can, walk the hands a little to the left. Reach. Let your pigeon hips become a little softer and more grounded. Or remember to place a blanket under that right buttock or a block. And then again, press the right elbow in. Rotate, heels of the hands together. Seal that mudra and turn open. Look up to sky or look to the heels of the hands. Try not to roll this left hip up. I'm finding that's happening as I evoke this rotation. I'm going to notice this, and this left hip's going to come back and just use the twist in the thorax. Coming round, forehead down, prone, relax. Let everything surrender. And then press the hands, unravel, slide out. Pedal out those legs, down face dog or cat pose or extended child's. Left knee shin forward, slide the right leg back. Extend the arms, lift your chest or forearms down. So please observe Kapotasana, the pigeon, the best way you can, but know that you can leave this out. If it is injurious to your knees, use a low lunge again, or maybe just re-enter lizard pose with the knee pointing up. Go into the twist, take the arms across to the right, reach across and then seal through the mudra, shoulders down the back. Remember that if you are vulnerable in any way in a yoga pose, in the physical body, and if pigeon is one that you still find a little bit elusive, then what I would do is just stay in the regular version and practice that, and maybe just come to center and prone. So it's, it's a little bit like baking a cake. If you're just baking a cake, you'll maybe start with your simple sponge. But once you become a pro baker, you might start to do layers, and fancy decoration. And that's kind of like a yoga pose developing, isn't it? So coming back to the basic sponge if you need to. Oh, I don't know why I've got cake on my mind at the moment. We've got a lot of birthdays in January, that's probably why. Roll the shoulders back, press the palms. Now this time, roll onto that left hip, sweep your right leg around, shake out those legs. And then as you sit onto those sit bones, hug the knees, walk the toes in, curl and roll back. And let's find boat balance. You can stretch the legs. You can have one leg up, one arm up, one leg up, both arms up, yeah. Or you can hug the knees in and just take the toes away. Sort of like a seated child's pose balance. Now I do quite like holding the feet, so I'm going to offer you one more balance here for a moment, and you can remain practicing Navasana, Nakasana, the boat pose, or you can hold your feet and see if you can just bring the legs up and draw the shoulders down. So Parahastasana here, balancing hand to foot balance, draw intentionally. You might fancy taking those legs out wide or together, or bending the knees. And then once you've found your seated balancing, I'm going to hook the ankles together, seal the hands, and again, just take a little twist, turning left, breathing into the center, and twist, turning right, breathing into the center, exhale left, center, and if you roll back, that is so funny, if you roll back, that's where we're going next, so twist, 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 and then as you roll back, shake out your legs, feet to mat, make sure you're warm enough, keep the hands where they were, sealed together, take the sealed hands to the sky, join the legs, feet together, and roll left and roll right with your torso. So you can clasp the hands if you want, or seal the hands again, and just roll left and right. And then release the arms open, kind of rushing fast towards the close. Please allow the right thigh, shake it out, cross the right thigh over your left. And normally we would cross the legs and float over. So the right thigh is on top and we'd float the legs to the left, but we're going to do it the other way. So take the right thigh over your left thigh and twist the legs to the right. And then you can let your head gaze to the left. Personally, I like to lift the head and just gaze up to the sky. Slide the shoulder blades away, breathe through that space. You're going to get this lovely space through the left side. A little bit archy in the back, draw through the belly to release. Left thigh over right. Lift the head, center, arms, palms face up, and take both legs roll to the left. So that creates this line of space, right armpit to hip. Roll the gaze to the right, space out a little more. Please stay for another breath cycle. And then unravel, shake out your legs. Please, even though we have just a little under 5 minutes, and I do apologise for that, but it's a morning practice and I want you to be super vital. Please unravel, shake out legs, full Shavasana, supine semi, or roll around your practice mat and join me in seated. So remain in supine or semi-supine, or please join me in seated. pausing to accept the new you, to come and accept this new version of yourself after your morning of asana movement, focusing as we did today on some of our rotational poses. And allow receptivity to this moment and allow acceptance of this moment. When we meet a barrier in our yoga practice, Rodney Yee says, it's important to back up enough to observe, breathe, and assess, and allow yourself to sit with the difficulty and confusion until understanding or some understanding comes to mind. And in this way, twists and rotations can help you maybe undo sort of other twistings in your mind and your emotions, but they can also help you find space to maybe let go of some of that physical or emotional frustration. And you know, all of that, as we well know from our philosophy, comes from our desire to control everything. So let's inhale acceptance and exhale, letting go of control tendencies. Inhaling, I accept the day unfolding in front of me. Exhaling, I let go of trying to control it or others. Breathing in, bring the palms to your heart center, gazing into the palms, eyes open, whether you're lying or seated. And let's again hear some wise words to ourselves. I inhale and accept the day as it unfolds in front of me. I exhale and let go of control of myself and others, and even of the day itself. Thank you so much for joining me on what is now become a bright, sunny Saturday morning. There's blue sky above me, the sun shining on the back of the house. What a lovely day looks like it's happening, and